Adrian Gonzalez. Yes, Adrian Gonzalez. We knew about Ryan Flaherty. We knew about Phil Nevin. We knew about Carlos Mendoza before he went to the New York Mets. We knew about Benji Gill. But Adrian Gonzalez was interviewed by the Padres for this managing position. According to Kevin Acee, he says here the Padres have hired their next manager, a man with managerial experience and experience working for A.J. Preller. Mike Schilt is the choice to replace Bob Melvin and become the franchise's 18th full-time manager. The Padres also interviewed Ryan Flaherty, a coach with them since 2020, former Angels infield coach Benji Gill, former Angels manager and Padres slugger Phil Nevin, former Padres first baseman Adrian Gonzalez, and former Yankees coach Carlos Mendoza, who earlier this month was hired as Mets manager. There is no other note about Adrian Gonzalez. It's just dropped in there by Kevin that, yeah, the Padres, they talked with Adrian Gonzalez. Imagine if Agon would have been the next manager of this team. Talk about something out of left field. We didn't hear about Bob Melvin before Bomel was hired. Who the fudge is Jace Tingler? Like, we didn't know much about him. Andy Green, some baseball coaching experience, major league. I think he was maybe the third base coach or something with the Arizona Diamondbacks. There's been some weird hirings by A.J. Preller, no doubt. But Adrian Gonzalez, talk about question marks. A guy that associates himself more with the Dodgers than with the Padres. I think he does TV work with the Dodgers. He has no managing experience in the big leagues, no coaching experience in the big leagues, at least to my knowledge. Like, that would have been a very, very questionable decision by AJ Preller. I don't know how many fans would have liked that move, to be honest. Maybe they would have been like, well, Agon, he knows what he's talking about. Great hitter, former Padre. I loved Agon when he played for the Padres. Maybe some fans would have thought that, but a lot of fans, I think, would have been, no, this guy thinks, he views himself as a Dodger, no coaching experience. What are the Padres doing? I think that would have been mostly the opinion from Padres fans. Now, hitting coach, that's something I am intrigued by. Now, I know I just said like he associates himself more with the Dodgers and the Padres, but if he is hired by the Padres, let's say hitting coach, right? And they can have Benji Gill be the third base coach, maybe. Like, what would this coaching staff look like? What could it look like? Niebla pitching coach, Gill third base coach, maybe. I don't know if he has experience doing that. They could go Phil Nevin, but I know he's getting interest with the New York Mets, so they could go Nevin third base coach or Gill third base coach. Let's say it's Gill. If they want Flaherty to get a promotion, so no other team takes him. I mean, no other team is taking him, but maybe they do that and he's bench coach or associate manager, whatever. Agon hitting coach, if he's interested. David Macias stays as the first base coach. Ben Fritz stays bullpen coach. There's obviously other coaches as well, but those are like the main coaches that we would think about here. Maybe I'd be okay with Adrian Gonzalez being the hitting coach. I know Mark McGwire, like, how did that work out? Just because you were a good hitter doesn't mean that you can be a good hitting coach. Barry Bonds with the Miami Marlins, how the heck did that work out? Right? There's been situations, examples where a great player didn't turn into like a great coach. So maybe it ends up not working out. But I mean, there's a bunch of hitting coaches that haven't worked out. And how is a hitting coach judged? By the results, right? Would the players respect Adrian Gonzalez? I think they would. A guy that is on the ballot for the Hall of Fame, I think they'd listen to him. Now, fans might have a different opinion. Like, no, I don't want Adrian Gonzalez associated with this franchise. Some might think that. But I would be willing to take a chance. I mean, Preller talked to Adrian Gonzalez for the managing job. How did that come about? Did Agon express interest to the Padres, and the Padres felt like, okay, we probably have to interview Agon, might as well talk to him? Or did Preller reach out to Adrian Gonzalez? We know AJ has all of these out-of-the-box ideas. That's out of the box. Agon as manager, that's out of the box. So, yeah, I don't think we can rule out Adrian Gonzalez being a coach on this staff. If the Padres are talking, they talk to him about manager. Now, maybe this was like a 5-minute conversation, and it was just a check-in, "Hey, would you be interested?" Or Aegon wanted it, and so Preller gave him a quick conversation and then immediately discarded him and said, "Yeah, no, it's not gonna happen, but I appreciate the interest." Maybe that's what it was, and AC's just reporting, "Yeah, Padres talked with Adrian Gonzalez." But that was a very interesting just note that was dropped in there from Kevin Acee. Mike Schilt, Cardinals connections, obviously. I see Yadier Molina maybe floated out there on social media, maybe as a coach. Of course, I'd love to have Yadi as a coach. Now, that doesn't guarantee that it would work, but I think he was manager for Team Puerto Rico in the WBC. Could be wrong on that this past World Baseball Classic. So there's some coaching experience there. He's obviously a really smart dude. A lot of years behind the plate with the Cardinals, one of the best catchers of all time. Relationship with Mike Schilt. Uh, hopefully that relationship is good. But maybe Yachty only wants to work for the Cardinals if that's what he wants to do. If he's interested in coaching, maybe it's only with the Cardinals, or he'd be willing to help Luis Camposano, a young catcher, and help out his former manager. That would be interesting. Talk about an interesting coaching staff. Aegon is like hitting coach, Yachty as a coach as well. He could be catching coach, give him a bench coach, whatever the heck job he wants. That would be interesting. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's something that I've seen floated out there. Just making the connections. There's I'm looking at some other former coaching staffs Mike Schilt had with the Cardinals, and there's guys that were there under Schilt, but now they're already in another organization. So, or they're still with the Cardinals. I don't know if they would jump Cardinals that ship and go to the Padres. So I feel like it's gonna. Well, we know Niebla pitching coach. Flaherty probably remaining in the organization because Preller loves him. Maybe Fritz stays. Schilt has a relationship with these other coaches as well. So we'll see how many end up staying, how many don't. Maybe these coaches end up taking another position in the Padres organization. Who knows how big this coaching staff gets? We'll see. Maybe it decreases because there's like 5 assistant hitting coaches, I think, that were there with the Padres. It felt like there was a lot. And we know the players have personal hitting guys that they go to in the offseason as well. So who knows if convos are happening between the personal hitting coaches and the players, at hotels, on road trips during the season. Fernando Tatis Sr., we know he has influence on someone like Fernando Tatis Jr., probably Jurickson Profar. So we'll see. I don't know if Tatis Sr. has any interest. I don't know if the Padres would be interested in having Tatis Sr. be a coach. I'm just throwing out names. Preller's outside the box. I was not expecting Adrian Gonzalez to be talked about today for manager. So here we are, though, but just throwing that stuff out there.